this team is now driving me to drink. Oh, and 3. Oh, and 3. Oh, and 3. I could take 1 and 2. 0 and 3. And the best chance that we had to win today against a Buffalo team that hasn't won a game yet. And we blow it. We blew it. And I'm picking blame today. I am picking blame today. Sergei Bobrovsky. Bob, what's going on? What? Defense. Friday. Oh, ready for this stat? After the Jackets had a 2-1 lead against the New York Rangers Friday night, when they gave up 3 goals, it's 77 seconds. After that happened, the Jackets have not led a game in over 106 minutes since Friday night. Saturday was a joke. And today, of course, Jack Eichel, the number 2 draft pick, lights up Bobrovsky. I'm drinking today. This is shit. But one thing's for certain, I love you guys. And welcome into All Andy Alfred right here on your home for me. A production of Clay Fan 2-3. I am your host, Andy Alfred. Of course, today on the program, we're going to recap the weekend that was in sports. Of course, we'll talk a little bit about the NFL. Also talk a little bit about the college football rankings and the LOL Lions. And we'll talk a little bit about NBA basketball as well, too, and the MLB playoffs. But first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about what happened this past 3 games. And you can follow me on Twitter. It is at All Andy Alfred. It is at All Andy Alfred. So let's talk a little bit about what happened Friday night, first and foremost. By the way, a fantastic crowd on hand at 200 West Nationwide Boulevard. I was in attendance. Pictures are posted up. I'll post some more coming up here in a bit. But great turnout. Great evening of hockey. Got to see Bruce Drennan, of course, and Gene Winters. Good to see them back in action down in Columbus for the opener as well too. Good to see all the fans, of course, seeing Kevin Schroeder, the good friend Kevin Schroeder as well too, and picking up some new swag for the back wall, and picking up some swag as well too. We're coming back down there. Remember, Friday we will not have a show because we're back in Columbus again for the Jacket game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The return of Mike Babcock in a new head coaching room. Let's talk a bit about Friday, though. Zuccarello starting the scoring off for the Rangers. He gets the goal. 50 seconds left in the first period. Bad turnover. I wrote bad turnover in the defensive end for the Jackets. But then Cam Atkinson on a breakaway beats Henrik Lundqvist, the Swedish chef, and ties the game up at 1 apiece. And then Brandon Saad, at the 16:10 mark of the third period, takes the lead. His first goal as a Jacket. He was assisted by Ryan Murray and Ryan Johansson. And then 77 seconds. It went from being a great game attempt to see the Jackets prevail and get a victory. Floundered. 77 seconds. Oscar Lindbergh, the game winner, ties it at 2. And Kevin Hayes, the game winner, really. He gets a 3-2 lead, and then Zuccarello extra in the game at the 18:41 mark. A minute later, as the Rangers defeat the Blue Jackets 4-2. Looking at some stats from that game, on game 1 of the season, the Jackets went 1 for 5 on the power play. The Rangers 0 for 2. The Rangers out-hit the Jackets 26-25. They lost in the face-off column 37-30. In takeaways, both teams had 6 takeaways apiece. In giveaways, the Jackets had 6 giveaways to the Rangers 3. Penalty minutes, 12 minutes for the Rangers, 6 minutes for the Blue Jackets. Henrik Lundqvist, the number 1 star overall, 33 saves in his attempt. Kevin Hayes, the 2nd star, and Ryan McDonough was the 3rd star. Bobrovsky stopped 16 of 20 in the losing effort for the game last Friday night. Then we get to Saturday. Got a chance to go to the bar after we got back from Columbus. Hung out for a bit. We went to the B-Dubs in Oregon. If you're ever in Toledo and if you're a Toledoan and you live in Toledo and you're a Blue Jacket fan, I recommend the B-Dubs in Oregon. Usually I'm there when Jacket road games are going on. I will watch the road games at the B-Dubs to have some dinner or lunch, watch the games, of course. And then Saturday was just... Excuse me. Saturday was the worst. Absolutely the worst. We were down 3-0 early. 3-0 early. And then it was 4-0 before we started going. We got 2 in the third, but it was just too little too late. We lost 5-2. Lindbergh having an outstanding game. He is 3rd and 4th of the season. Dominic Moore, Derek Brassard, the former Jacket, Derek Stefan made it 5-0. And then the Jackets came on. Ryan Johansson his first, and then Boone Jenner his first. But it was just too little too late. They outshot us 39-29. They were 1 for 5 on the power, 1 for 2 on the power play. The Jackets were 1 for 5. The Jackets and the Rangers tied in hits at 32. Face-off wins was in favor of the Rangers at 34-25. Penalty minutes, 12 minutes of penalties for the Rangers, 6 for the Blue Jackets. Henrik Lundqvist again getting the number 1 star overall, just almost a repeat. Lindbergh his 2nd star, and Victor Stahlberg his 3rd was the number 3 star in the game. Penalties killed the Jackets yet again. Costly penalties. It was Nick Foligno, also Scott Hartnell. Yet again, penalties killed it. And bad turnovers and bad breaks and bad goaltending by Bobrovsky yet again cost the Jackets to go 0-2. And then we get to today. Now, going into today's game, I was thinking that this is the best opportunity the Jackets have get to at least get something going. Get a winning streak going. What we heard from the pregame show on the Blue Jacket Radio Network is that they had a team meeting. They had a team meeting Sunday. The optional skate on Sunday, but they had a team meeting to get this ship going and get it right. And today was just another egg. I know, it's the 3rd game of the year. We're 0-3 to start the season off. But that's what they're saying about the Lions. Another team that's making me drink. Oh, let me tell you something, too. The fact that today's game on Columbus Day was played at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That was one thing. But the fact that the penalties killed us again. The bad turnovers again. And Bobrovsky in net again. 3 killers for the Jackets. Absolutely 3 killers for the Jackets. They kept it close in the first period. And then Buffalo scores. And then Ryan O'Reilly in the third makes it a 2-0 game before Brandon Saad gets his goal, his second of the year, makes it 2-1, cuts the deficit in half. I said, oh, here we go. Here we go. This is when it's going to begin. Jack Eichel lights up Bob. 3-1. Like, oh no. Here come the floodgates. And then the bleeding stopped. Then the bleeding stopped for a bit with Scar Hartnell. A beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. Beating Chaz Johnson. The backup goaltender for the Sabres. Beats him. 3-2. But then Matt Morrison just puts the knife, takes the knife, and just jabs it right into our hearts. 4-2 Sabres. Get the victory. Penalties killed us again. Bork, Murray, Foligno 3 times in the box today. Bull fighting. What's new? Well, Bork was in the box twice. Foligno 3 times. Gregory Campbell once. Ryan Murray once. Buffalo on the power play, 3 for 7. CBJ, 2 for 3. Hits-wise, Jackets had 17 hits to Buffalo's 12. Jackets won the face-off department, 27-26. They had 5 giveaways to Buffalo's 14. Takeaways, 4 for Buffalo, 2 for the Jackets. Penalty minutes, 19 minutes in penalties. 11 minutes for the Sabres. The Sabres outshot us 33-24. Bob, in this game, stopped 29 of 33 shots on net. And Chaz Johnson stopped 22 of 24. The Jackets are 0-3. Oh. This team, the capability that this team has, this team should be at least 1-2. Should be at least 1-1. Should be at least in the hunt early. This is the second time in franchise history that the team has started 0-3. The last time this team happened, they went on a record of 0-7-1 in 2011 and 2012. Tell me that we are not seeing an implosion that bad. I know we don't start really good out the gate, but we need to. And these next games have to. They need a team meeting. They need to get back into the locker room. Foligno needs to step up as a captain. And stop. Papa John's Pizza. Step up to the role as a captain and take charge in your team. Doobie's got to get better. Bull, absolutely a waste of a player. I have met so many fans, and I talked to so many fans on Friday night, and they agree. $1.4 million for Jared Bull. Thank God this is his last year of his contract. I swear to God, he's got to go. He has got to go. The Jackets and Yarmo have to cut ties with him. We're 0-3. I know. You're going to say, it's just 3 games into the season. They got Ottawa on Wednesday. I pass judgment at the 15-game mark. You're 3 games into the season this year, and we are struggling. We look horrible. Bad turnovers, bad breaks, bad penalties to take, and bad goaltending by Bob. When they put Curtis in the 3rd period of Saturday's game, I said, this should have been done like in the 1st period when they gave up 3. At least the blood would have stopped pouring. But the Union Blue Jackets right now are soiled. We need to clean them up. It starts Wednesday. We need to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, get back out on the ice, and win a game! Todd Richards and his crew needs to step up. Or they're gonna lose the fanship really easily. Do you want to see empty seats at Nationwide for marquee games? Do we want to have an incident that's happening in Florida? This franchise has been around for 15 years. This is the best club that we've had in a long time. Since the 2008-09 season when we were swept by the Red Wings in the first round of the playoffs. Do you think that this team can get back onto the winning page? I think they can. It has to start on Wednesday. If they don't win on Wednesday and then you got Toronto, you have to at least go 2 for 1 for the rest, at least 500 for the week. Lose today, that's 1 loss. You have to win on Wednesday. You have to win Friday, because Saturday we got the defending champions at United Center. Do you really think that we're going to be good enough to defeat the defending champions? Saad's going to get his ring on Saturday. But do you think that we're capable of beating the Blackhawks? Because we can't beat the Rangers. We can't even beat Buffalo. Buffalo! It's not the preseason, boys. You can't hack off. It's game on. It's time to put on the jackets and go for the win on Wednesday. Oh, other NHL scores from today on this Columbus Day, the 12th of October 2015. And I'm sorry that I took up about 20 minutes of your airtime grieving about the Jackets. It's just the point that this team looks good. Has been playing great in the preseason. Yes, I know, it's the preseason. But still, the number 1 line of Foligno, Johansson, Saad have not produced. 1 goal. More penalty minutes than anything else. Saad's been the lead scorer for the Jackets right now. Unbelievable. Other games happening today on this Columbus Day. Tampa Bay was a winner today, 6-3 over the Boston Bruins. The Islanders were a winner over the Winnipeg Jets, 4-2. Philadelphia is taking on Florida tonight at 7 o'clock. As well, and tonight Anaheim is hosting Vancouver in their home opener at the Honda Center. Tomorrow, Nashville will be in New Jersey. That's a 7 o'clock drop. Winnipeg is in New York, 7 o'clock drop for that one. Montreal is in Pittsburgh. It's a 7 o'clock face-off. San Jose is in Washington, 7 o'clock face-off for that one. Carolina hosting the Florida Panthers. San Jose is in Washington. Tampa Bay taking on the Detroit Red Wings. That game on NBCSN, 7:30 drop for that puck. Drop, and at 8:30 Edmonton's in Dallas, St. Louis is in Calgary, and Vancouver is in LA. Looking at the standings going into today's play after the loss for the Blue Jackets, the Jackets are still in last place in the Metropolitan Division. Don't worry. Pittsburgh is in last place still, too. They are 0-2-2. Well, hypothetically, Columbus is in last place. They're 0-3-0. 0-3-0. New Jersey's 0-2-0. Pittsburgh 0-2-0. Carolina 0-2-0. Philadelphia 0-1-1. Rangers are 3-0. The Islanders 1-1-1. In the Atlantic Division, it's Tampa, Montreal, and Detroit in that situation. So we'll see what happens with that. You're watching All Andy Alfred right here on your exclusive home for me, a production of ClayFan23. I am your host, Andy Alfred. Let's get into the NFL. Tonight, Monday Night Football commences from San Diego as the Chargers take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. 8:30 kickoff for that one as well, so we'll talk about that game here momentarily. But first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about the local teams. Let's start with the positive. How about the Cleveland Browns defeating the Baltimore Ravens yesterday 33-30 on a comeback game-winning kickoff in overtime? The Browns getting the win, now improving to 2-3-0. The Ravens fall to 1-4. The Ravens are still down in the cellar 5 games into the season. The Browns are 2-3-0. It's just great to see. It's great to see the Browns are succeeding. The Browns are succeeding. They're finally getting together. They're finally working out. That game was good. It's good. But now next week you got Denver at home. That's a loss. Easily a loss. Then you go to St. Louis. That's a loss. Arizona. That's a loss because of what happened yesterday. And I will make mention of that here momentarily. So those are your upcoming games for the Browns. The Browns 2-3 to end this season. Now we get to another team. Another local team. The Lions. Oh! Another team to make me drink. You want to finish that bottle before the show's ended. Oh, excuse me. The Lions. Oh. They benched Stafford. It's about time. It's about time, Jim. It is about time you bench Matthew Stafford. I swear, he is nothing now. Nothing. Gerard. This team is proving that they're going to go 0-16 now. More than ever. If they win against the Bears, then I'd be surprised. If they lose to the Bears, I'm saying it right now. I will say it right now. If they lose to the Bears, 0-16 is going to happen. Because it doesn't get any easier for the Lions. The Lions lose on Sunday 42-17. They were up 7-0 until 28 unanswered points by the Cardinals. 4 turnovers. Caldwell benches Stafford. The Lions scored 10 points. Nobody was left in the crowd at Ford Field after the third quarter. This shows you what the Lions fans walked out on the Lions because of the fact that how bad this team is. This is just pathetic. It's pathetic to watch. That's why they call them the LOL Lions. This team is just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Looking at some other scores, the Packers were a winner 24-10. Broncos beat the Raiders 16-10. The Patriots a 30-6 victory over the Cowboys. Sunday Night Football sees the Giants roar back to a 30-27 victory over the 49ers. The Bills 14-13 win over the Titans. Saints were a loser to the Eagles 39-17. The Jaguars a 31-38 victory over the loser to the Buccaneers. For the Atlanta Falcons 25, the Washington Football Club 19. Charles Lewis gets his ACL torn. The Chiefs go to 1-4 with the loss to the Bears 18-17. And the Bungles getting a 27-24 victory over the Seahawks. Thursday Night Football saw the Houston Texans lose 27-20. Like I mentioned tonight, Monday Night Football, it will be the Steelers taking on the Chargers. 8:35 kickoff for that game this Monday night. As you're watching All Andy Alfred right here on your exclusive home. For me, a production of ClayFan23, I'm your host, Andy Alfred. And the show is brought to you in part by Dr. Zuhari and Fisher's office in Rossford, Ohio. Hey, if you know somebody who is having dental problems, if you're in need for dental work, Dr. Zuhari and Fisher's office is top-notch to their family-oriented dentistry. Dr. Zuhari takes care of his patients. So much more. Visit his website, drzuhariandfisher.com, or call and set up an appointment today by calling 419-666-3327. Visit the website, drzuhariandfishersoffice.com. He has fixed my smile. Fix yours at the same exact time. Oh, Steve Sarkisian has checked himself into rehab after being fired by USC as Washington defeated the USC Trojans 17-12. Just give me a second. My foot has fallen asleep. As the Trojans, foot's fallen asleep. I can't believe I've done these shows and my foot has fallen asleep. Trojans lose 17-12. Let's talk a little bit about Ohio State. The Buckeyes getting a much needed victory and more of a statement in this game against the Maryland Terps, 49-28. Overall, all three quarterbacks were used in this game. Cardell Jones, Braxton Miller, all used in this game today on Saturday afternoon, as the Maryland Terps lose to the Ohio State Buckeyes 49-28. TCU a 52-45 victory over Kansas State. Kansas State kept it close most of the game. Baylor puts up 66 unanswered points on Kansas Jayhawks as they win 66-7. The Michigan State Spartans in a close victory over Rutgers 31-24. Utah 30-24 victory over Cal. Clemson the 43-24 victory over Georgia Tech. LSU a 45-24 victory over South Carolina in Baton Rouge. That game moved from Columbia to Baton Rouge because of the flooding that's happening in South Carolina. Alabama getting a 27-14 victory over Arkansas. Texas, the upset of the weekend, beating up on the Boomer Sooners in the Red River rivalry 27-14. That's a big move for that game. Florida a 21-3 victory over the Missouri Tigers. Florida State a 29-24 victory over Miami over the U. Michigan blanking Northwestern 38-0 leading up to this weekend's big matchup for them. Notre Dame a 41-24 victory over Navy. Ole Miss 52-3 over the New Mexico State Lobos. Tennessee a 38-31 victory over the 19th ranked Georgia Bulldogs. Oklahoma State a 33-26 victory over West Virginia. Iowa 29-20 victory, and Boise State a 41-10 victory over Colorado State. And we get to the University of Toledo. The UT Rockets had a game on Saturday afternoon, 3:30 kickoff, as they took on the Golden Flashes of Kent State University, of course. And, of course, UT picks up the victory. They picked up a huge victory in this game. UT getting a cruising to a 38-7 victory as they improve to 5-0 in the Mid-American Conference
2-0 in Mid-American Conference play, 5-0 overall. Kent State with the loss goes to 2-4, 1-1 in the MAC. Looking at some scores, the highlights of this game, Phil Eli went 19 for 32, 205 yards with 2 touchdowns. His QBR was a 52.5 in this game. Terry Swanson, 14 carries for 161 yards, his longest 88. Kareem Hunt, 16 carries for 85 yards, 2 TDs in the game. Cody Thompson, 4 receptions for 65 yards. There was also Roland Milligan with 1 interception in the game. Corey Jones had 4 punt returns for a total of 55 yards, as long as 48 yards. As the University of Toledo win 38-7. Toledo, indeed, they get the victory this weekend. Looking at some Big Ten scores, however, it was like I said, Indiana losing to Penn State 29-7. Wisconsin with the winner, 23-21 over the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and Minnesota getting a 41-13 victory over the Purdue Boilermakers. Then we get to the Mid-American Conference. Central Michigan loses to Western Michigan 41-39. Miami loses to Ohio 34-3. Akron a 47-21 victory. They're 3-3, 1-1 overall in the MAC. Ball State loses to Northern Illinois 59-41. And then we get into one team that played at Dwight L. Perry Stadium. The Bowling Green State University Falcons took on the UMass Minutemen, and the Bowling Green Falcons cruise to a 62-38 victory. Oh, the Falcons getting a much-needed victory in this game. Matt Johnson, 33 for 39, 450 yards, 5 TDs, and 1 INT. His QBR is 92.1. Travis Green with 15 carries, 122 yards, 1 TD. His longest was 32 yards. Rick Cobbett, 17 carries for 68 yards in this game. Roger Lewis, 8 receptions for 142 yards. He has 1 TD. Ronnie Moore with 5 catches for 99 yards, 1 TD in the game. Ryan Burbank had 4 receptions for 65 yards. His longest was 40. Tyler Tate, 2 for 2 in the field goal home, as Bowling Green cruised to a 62-38 victory. Yes, the Falcons prove yet again that they can play. And now the test is in front of them this week. And we'll talk a little bit about this week's action in the Mid-American Conference, as well as for UT's rankings as well too. The new rankings have come out for this upcoming weekend. Bowling Green not ranked, of course, in the AP and in the coaches poll. Yes, of course, Bowling Green not ranked, but Ohio State's number 1 overall with 27 first-place votes. Baylor in second at 5-0. TCU 3, Utah 4, Clemson 5, LSU 6, and Michigan State falls 3 spots to 7th. Florida 8th, Texas A&M 9th, and Alabama 10th. Michigan moves up 6 spots to number 12. Notre Dame goes up 1. They're now 14th ranked overall. The University of Toledo is 22nd ranked in the country. Behind them is Cal, Houston University, and Duke. In the coaches poll, UT is ranked 25th overall, 5-0 with 149 points overall. So UT getting the rankings as well too. In the college football power rankings, UT is 25th overall, 7th up in the poll rankings. Looking at some games this weekend going forward, UT having a game on the road. They will be playing, of course, let's see here, pull it up for you guys here. We are on week 7 of the college football rank season. University of Toledo going to be in some play at home this weekend. They'll take on the Eastern Michigan Eagles at the Glass Bowl. Thursday night sees UCLA taking on Stanford. That's 18 versus 15. Friday, it'll be Houston, 24th ranked, taking on Tulane, and Boise State taking on Utah State at 9 o'clock on that game. UT taking on Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan 1-5, 0-2 overall in the MAC play. The Ohio State Buckeyes will take on Penn State, 8 o'clock on ABC, and a 3:30 kickoff at the Big House in Ann Arbor is Michigan versus Michigan State. So we'll preview those games coming forward this week on All Andy Alfred. Can't wait to get into this weekend's action in college football. You're watching All Andy Alfred right here on your exclusive home for me, a production of ClayFan23. I'm your host, Andy Alfred, coming to you from the Man Cave Studios here in East Toledo, Ohio. Well, let's talk a little bit about the MLB playoffs and the fact that Chase Utley should be suspended, but is not suspended because of the fact that the appeal process takes so long. Now they're playing tonight at Citi Field. Utley in the lineup versus Matt Harvey. Utley, having a great record against Matt Harvey, has taken him deep. Now, do you pitch to Utley or do you beanball him because of what happened with him and Tejada? And he should be suspended. The neighborhood played my butt. You don't take a guy out and break his legs. You just don't. Neighborhood play my butt. Houston on Sunday getting a 4-2 victory over Kansas City was up in the series until today. We have two finals from today. Kansas City roars back and beats the Houston Astros 9-6 to force a pivotal Game 5 back in Kansas City. It was Hosmer and Perez and homered for the Kansas City Royals. Rasmus, Gomez, and Correa homered twice in the game as the Houston Astros and the Kansas City Royals now go back to Kansas City for Game 5. Series is tied at 2 games apiece. Toronto getting an 8-4 victory over the Texas Rangers. That forces a Game 5 in this best-of-5 series. Price gets the win. He goes to 1-1 with a 7.20 ERA. Dickey was in the game, was pulled early. Derek Holland gets the loss. He goes to 0-1 with a 2.27 ERA. The Cubbies are taking on the Cardinals right now as we speak on TBS. Tonight, 8:30, will be Matt Harvey in Game 3 of the NLDS. Harvey, 13-8 with a 2.71 ERA, taking on Anderson, who's 10-9 with a 3.69 ERA. And can I give him a score for the Cubs game? Yeah, we're taping the show right now. It's the bottom of the 5th. The Cubs are up 5-2 over the Cardinals. The Cubs, with a win, would force Game 4 tomorrow and a possible Cub NLCS. Just saying. I like to see the Cubs in this. I like to see the Cubs get far. So the MLB playoff picture is getting set. Games 5 are set for on Wednesday. 4 o'clock starts in Toronto, 8 o'clock start in Kansas City. It'll be Cueto for Kansas City, 11-13 with a 3.44 ERA versus McHugh, who's 19-7 with a 3.89 ERA. Both Texas and Toronto have not yet named starters for the 4 o'clock game. Tomorrow, it will be Hamill for the Cubbies, 10-7 with a 3.74 ERA. St. Louis is not yet named a starter, but Game 4 in the Queens, it'll be Clayton Kershaw, 16-7 with a 2.13 ERA versus Matz, who's 4-0 with a 2.27 ERA. 8 o'clock start time for that one. NBA school scores and notes for tonight's games. Of course, the Cavs are in Columbus this evening. on Columbus Day to take on the Grizzlies. They're taking on the Grizzlies this evening at the Value City Arena. The Sixers are in New York to take on the Knicks. The Spurs are taking on the Heat. Toronto is hosting the Timberwolves. The Pelicans are at the United Center to take on the Chicago Bulls. And the Utah Jazz are taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Tonight, it is time for the Libby Factory Outlet. Set your table for tonight's sporting events. Of course, tonight, 8:30 on TBS, it will be the LA Dodgers taking on the New York Mets. We'll see what happens tonight between Utley and Harvey. It's going to set up for some great TV tonight. So get ready for that, as well too as Monday Night Football at 8:30 on ESPN as the steel curtain of the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the San Diego Chargers. And that's going to wrap it up for All Andy Alfred today. Tomorrow's edition of All Andy Alfred, recap Monday Night Football, of course. Break down the other two NHL games tonight. By the way, the other two NHL games, I forgot to make mention of this earlier in the program. Tonight on the NHL docket, there's two other games. Florida is playing tonight. They are taking on, if I am mistaken, the Philadelphia Flyers. And the late game, like I mentioned, Anaheim taking on Vancouver. The Vancouver-Anaheim game is also a table setter if you have NHL Game Center. Just getting that notification right now, reminding me that the game tonight between Vancouver and Anaheim is set. And the lineups will be posted. Cannot wait to get back on the air with you guys tomorrow on another edition of All Andy Alfred. And hopefully, fifth liners, hopefully we can get back into the winning page. If you like my show, subscribe to the channel, and however you're watching us, wherever you're watching us, thank you for tuning in to All Andy Alfred today. Remember to follow me on Twitter. It is at All Andy Alfred. So until tomorrow, when we're back on the air with you guys here on All Andy Alfred, this is Andy Alfred saying, "Go Jackets! Oh, go Jackets! Oh, I need another drink. Oh, go Lions! Make it a double. Go Lions! Go Jackets! Gotta get a win soon. Go Cubs! That's a bright spot for the day today. And go Cavs! That's gonna wrap it up for All Andy Alfred today. And as always, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together. Game of life. And to the teams behind me, and to your team that you've rooted for at home as well, victory is sweetest when you have tasted defeat. And it tastes like scotch. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another edition of All Andy Alfred. I love you, babe. Talk to you guys tomorrow.